shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Arizona Cardinals and the Minnesota Vikings. Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach. Tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Cousins gives way to Cook, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Working out of the gun, Cousins, incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
And defensively, they told us, hey, we've got Cook stripped, the ball's out, and the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Opening drive fumble, and the 4 miscues that they had last week. 4 turnovers, Charles. So this is a bad trend.
And, Brandon, you and I both know that they didn't just ignore what happened last week. They focused on it, tried to get better. And when it happens here again in this game, the head coach is going to see that as a direct reflection on his message to the team, and it's not sinking in.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That goes for 14 yards, first down Cardinals.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it's going to be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Murray now on first down. Going to throw deep for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time. And it's second down.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Throwing is Murray on third down. And able to find Kirk complete. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Watch your slant. Watch your slant. Watch your slant.
This one caught by Isabella. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Oh, yeah.
A 4-yard gain brings up 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Check, 43. Blue down. No. Check them up.
And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Kyler Murray, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, it doesn't take any great analysis. No jokes, partner, okay? All right, on this one. But we just know that we're going to see this as the game moves forward. There's going to be 2 guys on him at just about every snap.
It's kind of a dare to throw his way, but they have to keep throwing his way.
The benefits could be great. You throw it to a great receiver, he could come down with it anyway.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
I-7. Watch out. Hey, yo. Check. Rhino. Joker.
On 3rd down, Cousins.
Check.
And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Now it's Peterson. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
1st down, Cardinals.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 45 on 2nd down. Murray under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph. Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Murray with a 3rd and long. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Murray now on first down, sliding out of the pocket. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Out of the pistol, here's Johnson.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
To throw on third down, Murray. He's going to go up top for the end zone. This Minnesota D up to the task on the third down pass play.
Xavier Rhodes on the coverage.
On fourth down, here's Zane Gonzalez for the Cardinal field goal. And this one a 41-yard attempt. Gonzalez's kick is good. And that'll do it for the first quarter of play. 10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone.
Keep playing hard.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. That's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. Give him 8 on the play, and they're going to have a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Bravo. Hey, 382, let's 50. Get him. Mike 35, Mike 35.
Cousins from the gun on third. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
11 yards there, first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Throwing on second down. Murray. Dancing, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Ben Gideon able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Take it at the 37. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Off the play fake, Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
At 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic. You don't want to see me. Bring up 48. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want to hold on.
Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 30 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Good route here. Watch your distance. Hey, echo. 43's the mic. 43's the mic. Here we go. 2. 43's the mic.
On 2nd down and 4. Cousins escaping the pressure right. And it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Cardinals. Austin Hooper, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Cardinals push further out in front. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3, looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Linval Joseph picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards?
43's the mic, boy.
Murray now, 3rd and goal. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they start the second half with Johnson. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Johnson. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Here we go. Check. Watch what we go. That's what I do.
Here's Murray. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 10, first down, Arizona.
First down, Cardinals.
First down, Murray. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done. He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Here's Murray. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And that's now 2 big catches on this drive for him.
You know, the NFL keeps talking about the possibility of using video for coaching on the sidelines. That's not approved yet, but you can still use pictures. They've got to send his picture down to their defense and say, you see him? Cover it.
Brings up second and goal at the 5-yard line.
Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal.
Let's go, D.
To Johnson again. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson. His second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals push further out in front. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a second and 11.
At the 24-yard line.
Ready? 70, Indy. Protein, spell. Go. 58 to Mike, 58. 58. Smooth. Out here on go.
Second and 11. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
61, matchbox lights. 58, boys, 58.
Back to throw. Herbert looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
The tackle made there by Harrison Smith.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
They go to Johnson again. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10.
Under 10.
Now they'll run the option to the short side left. Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
No gain on the play. And it brings up 3rd down.
Mike 5-5, Mike 55.
Now this time Murray to throw it. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
After the turnover, here's Murray. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 5. Murray going to throw. He wants it all for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. Andy Isabella was the intended target. Well, they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That was a bad play